Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. As always, I'm your host, Josh Sans. Thank you so much for tuning in for an installment, a special installment of Bodybuilding Daily. We are hours away from heading out to the Arnold Classic, this year's 2023 Arnold Classic. I'll be landing about 6 a.m. tomorrow, which will be the 3rd. So I will be missing the meet and greet, which is super unfortunate. And it looks like the men's amateurs is today, so I will be missing that as well. But we will recap that at the end of the video. As you can see here, I want to talk about some recent physique updates from Samson, Dauda, and Nick Walker. And I think this is going to solidify my decision that these two are going to be the 1 and 2, and then Big Rami's going to round it out for a 3rd spot. Although Rami hasn't posted a lot of physique updates as of late, from the physique updates he has posted, I've been quite impressed. I do think he has what it takes to make that somewhat comeback. Could he move up to maybe 2nd or even win the show? It's hard to say, but I don't think it's going to be in the cards for him to win the show. I think it's Nick Walker's for the taking. And it's actually kind of nice because not Samson Dauda, but Fouad Abiad did agree, or at least did kind of walk back some of his statements about Samson Dauda in a respectful way. You know, when he's your own athlete, you want to support him. And also, I think Samson Dauda, I agree with him that there's a huge future for him in men's open bodybuilding, as Totoro is flying around the desk here. Hope you guys enjoy him hopping in on the show. It's nice for him to support his athlete, but it's also important to highlight where he still needs to make improvements to win such a prestigious show like the Arnold Classic. Now, when you look at someone like Nick Walker, he's made the improvements, and we've talked about it almost on every episode so far, that he's been making the improvements in the midsection and in the lat poses. The front lat specifically is something that's been a weakness for him. The back lat, I think, is actually a strength, as we just saw in some footage or some photos, and the ab and thigh has been an improvement over the off season, where he's showing it off almost every week. So again, my picks, I will come out with a prediction video today, so look forward to that, but that will be it for Nick and Samson. William Bonac sharing some physique updates, and I did want to highlight the post he made. He talked about how the first photo, which is the front relaxed, was 10 days ago, so just outside of the Arnold Classic, and the second and third photo are from last week Saturday. So could that be a week out Saturday, or are we talking about like 8, less than a week out from the Arnold Classic? That's probably my question. I'm assuming it's the latter, being as close to the show as possible. And I think Samson Dauda, or Samson. I think that William Bonac has great opportunity to make improvements here. The thing is, he's had a hard season from last year's classic, Arnold Classic, where he got robbed, to a guest posing conditioned Brandon Curry. He then moving into the Boston Pro, dominating, and then coming into the Mr. Olympia and then falling to 9th place, I thought was probably something he wasn't too excited about, but I do think he has a lot of opportunity to make improvements here. He could land anywhere, although it's, not the first place that he probably wants. I could see him landing as high as 4th here, depending on how Andrew Jacked and Big Rami show up. If Rami shows up not as sharp as some of his recent physique updates on Instagram have shown, and Andrew Jacked continues to be lagging from the back, similar to Samson Dauda, then I think that is a spot where William Bonac and his massive, perfect back could make a splash. Finishing up with William Bonac, I do want to see him do well. I want to see him make those improvements in placings at least. But somebody who wants to maintain their placings as the Ms Bikini International is Lauralie Chapados. So originally, when I reported on her, 2 years ago, I just called her Lauralie. So I do apologize for that, but I'm sure she doesn't care. She's not too upset by that. Now, despite not covering bikini as much as other channels, there's like a Bikini World or something. I'll make sure I tag them, but they make a lot of bikini content. I think that the bikini division is going to be the most competitive division at the Arnold Classic, and hear me out. So Maurice, who just won the Miss Olympia this year, beat out Lauralie and the next lady that we're going to talk about who won the women's Bikini Olympia the year prior. Lauralie Chapados here, she's won this last Arnold Classic, the last year's New York Pro, Pittsburgh, a bunch of shows. So it's going to be a very close battle between those three ladies because all of them have been kind of carving out their name. You've got two Ms Olympia Bikini champions, and you have the reigning Arnold Classic champion battling it out for the top three in the bikini division. So I can't speak too much on it because it's just not the division that I cover heavily. Open bodybuilding is my meat and potatoes, meat and taters, as we used to say back home. But I'm very excited to see how she does here. She's one of these people that you see on Instagram that just seems like such a amazing person. And when it comes to at least my experience with, women that look like something that's carved out of granite stone and belong in Athens as a statue, usually I don't have great interactions with them. They usually give me the stank eye. And that's, maybe that affects my the way I communicate with beautiful women in the gym. I don't know, because I don't. I just completely avoid it. Sigma male it. I just look the other way because, just the way the world is nowadays, you got to be careful. But enough about Lauralie Chapados. We will not conclude the video. We have one more individual I want to talk about. But Jennifer Dorie, a.k.a. Jen Dorie, is prepping for the Arnold Classic, obviously. She's looking phenomenal, sharing some physique updates from the Dragon Layer, it looks like, in those mirror shots. Again, another athlete that, like I said, she's been a Miss Olympia champion, the 2021 Ms Bikini champion, and she's also, it looks like she's won an Arnold Classic as well, so I do apologize. I did miss that. Jennifer Dorie, so I do apologize there. Probably some of the more impressive conditioning we see. She reminds me a lot of Ashley Kalswasser, but with a little bit more meat up top. So best of luck to her. She could win it. She's in the conversation. She could win it. And let's go ahead and finish it off with some amateur Arnold stories, or at least one story so far. We'll make another one before I have to fly out tonight. John Rivas, we've talked about him before on the channel just probably last week. So look in the Bodybuilding Daily tab, and you'll see coverage of him. Very excited to hear he won the super heavyweights for the amateurs. And I thought he said he missed out on the overalls, or he's waiting for the overalls. So if the overalls for the amateur bodybuilder overall has happened or hasn't happened yet, I do apologize if I'm putting out delayed information, but that is the name of the game, is putting out quick and good content. That's something this channel myself is known for when it comes to these big shows, is putting out content as fast as I can for you to enjoy, be educated and entertained. So happy to hear that he did well. I think he's still with First Attachment. It looks like in some capacity. I think they've moved around with their branding, or they bought out or something. I'm not sure. But happy to hear that he's still rocking hard with those guys. They seem like good people. And we'll see. We'll see what kind of journey he's going to take. I don't know if he gets the pro card with the super heavyweights, or if he has to win the overall, or if they give it to the top two. Sometimes they do that. That'll be interesting to hear. But, ladies and gentlemen, please support Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. They made these awesome t-shirts for the Arnold Classic. I'll be flying out in about 4 hours, so I need to start packing to get ready to cover the Arnold Classic tomorrow. I'll be flying in around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then I will be at the expo and the finals for the entire day. So if you guys are there, make sure you guys check out Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company booth 1009. And of course, if they do sell out, which I hope they do, because that's a good problem to have, you can buy as many as you want of this design with a cool little badge of BNN on the outer collar on the back at bodybuildingnews.net, as you can see here. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. As always, genuinely, I do appreciate every single one of you. Subscribe if you have not. It really does help me, and it's going to help me kind of adjust or predict how many shows I want to travel to this year, because it is going to be a big financial burden for this trip and the Arnold Classic trip. It's going to be like $3,000. So, and I'm not a person who just has $3,000 sitting around. So I hope you guys subscribe. I hope you guys appreciate the work that myself and our new lead female correspondent, Danielle Willis, IFBB Pro Women's Bodybuilding Olympian. She'll be there helping out with the coverage and pretty much spearheading most of the women's interviews. I know I want to hop into a couple of them if I actually know them, or if they're one of you subscribers. I do want to hop in and get that personal interaction, because I freaking love you guys. So buy the merch, support the channel, like, comment, share. Sharing is caring and sharing is free. But that's it. Okay, enough rambling. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you in my predictions video, and then I'll see you at the Arnold Classic.